continuing their trend of banning Galio.
Yeah, right off the bat, that's not something who he wants to play. Definitely not something they want to pick away. So blue side also has that ban flexibility, so to speak. Now we'll get to see if we see just as many 80 carry bans as we have seen so far this series. Xayah, Tristana, Kalista have all been banned in both games.
Yeah, and we'll see if anything changes from switching the sides, though, of course. So far, they've been kind of keeping to red side banning Kalista, but also CLG banning Galio. This actually frees up a CLG ban that they could send towards Cho'Gath. Actually got to grab in the Maokai ban they had sent in earlier on. Expecting the picks to go a bit differently here. They had banned at phase 2 of the first game, I do believe, but going to put it here in phase 1 of game 3.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like CLG is saying, yo, FlyQuest, you have to ban the 80 carries now, otherwise we're going to first pick one of them. And it also hurts the Jarvan pick a little bit if it is to fall through like that, because if you pick either Kalista or Xayah into Jarvan, the Jarvan's way less effective. You can immune pretty much all of Jarvan's stuff with Xayah, or you can just dash out of it as Kalista with your auto attack. So
CLG looking to set up for either a first pick Tristana or maybe a Jarvan with that Cho'Gath ban. They had done it. They had played it to very good effect in that second game. Of course, they had banned it in the first. They're certainly afraid of this one. Now to see what's coming through. It's just big, tanky bans out of CLG. The Trist will get pushed away, so Xayah is up. And he's going to be grabbed.
Yeah, and this is also meaning Jarvan is up. It's probably something FlyQuest will pick, but as we mentioned, it will be less effective because of that first pick for CLG. So it's a known quantity that they're giving over. And also, very expected that you're seeing the Rakan out of Elimination, not only because he's been really good at it and it's critical to FlyQuest initiations, but because you want to decouple them.
Absolutely the case. Now, this does mean that Wild Turtle is going to be allowed to grab the Twitch if he wants it at the end of this first phase. That wasn't banned away, and he had won with it in the first game of the series, so might do that again. Stands to be seen. CLG going to lock in their first phase picks. So they're going to match the jungler. Sejuani come in right now. Do they grab a top laner? Do they take this down away? Yeah, or Thresh, as they've done every single time, basically.
Probably don't want to get pinched on that support pool, knowing that FlyQuest already has theirs locked in. So both teams mostly sticking to their guns. The priority picks have actually not really changed throughout this series.
Yeah. Same support matchup all 3 games. Jarvan jungle all 3 games so far. And Wild Turtle and Stixxay have changed champions around a little bit, the mid laners as well. We'll see what comes in here as High gets one last pick in this phase, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, you really wonder, like, where his champion pool sits.
Kog'Maw instead, okay. Does want a carry performance champion. You want a high damage backliner that can stay safe. I think Kagashi has a pretty decent landing phase overall, and certainly will be a good mid to late game team fighter.
Right, they already know COD's bottom lane, so they can opt into this, knowing what they're up against. Definitely helps them with that. But now the question becomes, what does High have left in the mid lane? I think CLG banned Syndra, just because they had a lot of success pushing High to Kennen, especially when it came to later teamfight phase. And we haven't seen much High success during the regular season on Orianna or Corki, even though those were his most played.
Right now it's removing Rumble. They know they don't want to have balls on that one. He's done so well in the carries. And the question is actually, is it even worth, though maybe it doesn't fit the comp, banning the Kennen top that Balls had played so well in the first as well. They want to get rid of Balls carry champions. One-sided Talia ban, as High doesn't play it himself, so those are pretty unsurprising. The 3 mid lane bans out of FlyQuest are all one-sided bans. They don't affect High in any way.
Yeah, but it is very important for FlyQuest that High has the ability to participate in an aggressive way in team fights. That's why the Galio is so good for him. What will this last ban be? We're thinking Kennen or Syndra. It is Lucian instead.
A little bit unexpected, although CLG had picked it away themselves in the first one. Maybe they still consider that one to be threatening. FlyQuest now, first pick of the phase. Do they go for the blind Syndra? Does he have a counter pick? Probably. Or do they wait a little bit longer to get that to High later on? They need a top laner, they need a mid laner. They're going to go for Orianna. He goes back to one of his old hallmarks.
Yeah, most played on the year by far.
This champion, I believe, was uncontested for the entire series.
Yep.
Going to be picked in here now.
Yep, but it does work well in just getting a little bit of extra shielding for Kog'Maw. We'll have the Ardent Sensor of Rakan, as well as the Armored Magic Resist provided by Command Protect. So looking to play around Wild Turtle from the looks of it. Can still flex the Jarvan top lane, by the way, if they want to go with a different jungler for Moon.
Speaking of High favorites, Corki going to come in here for Huhi. So it will be double marksman, but certainly magic damage out of the mid lane here. Certainly 2 standbys of the summer split. Orianna and Corki, 2 of the most frequent to be seen. Cassiopeia, as you had mentioned, the previous champ slick, going to be entirely unseen in this series, most likely. And now CLG Gaming need a top laner unless Sejuani goes there. And Jack's going to be picked up as the quasi-blind. We know Jarvan could go, but it's likely to be a new top laner picked up now for Balls. Darshan wants to carry this one.
Yeah, and they have already sent 3 bans towards the top lane, so it's a little bit of a known quantity here what they could play in the top lane. Lemon checks his notebook, looks, you know, down his column for Jack's counter picks, as I'm sure he has somewhere.
And it's Kennen.
And that's what we were talking about. Will they throw a ban towards Kennen? The answer was no. And then Balls will end up picking it nonetheless. A swingy matchup. This is something you should be able to shove in early, but can definitely get going. And then there's also the question, does he go AD or AP? We have seen the switch pretty heavily towards the Proto Belt Kennen in the top lane, but could always go the other way.
A fun one to watch for Kennen versus Jax. An exciting matchup, as you mentioned, very volatile, high damage on both these sides, regardless of the kind of build you go for. There's going to be threats here. They want to split push. Kennen arguably is the better team fighter, at least with the AP build, but have to see what comes through. Also, CLG, much less tankiness here. Sejuani, the only real tank on the lineup, fresh, a bit slow going in that regard. Jax doesn't want to be alone in the front either himself. FlyQuest, of course, are also just only relying on Moon's Jarvan eliminations, Rakan, so squishier lineups, which would actually favor the AoE-heavy Orianna-Kennen combo.
Yeah, looking for a more explosive game here, especially with Kog'Maw making it through. It's the highest damage AD carry we have seen yet.
It'll be a fun one to watch for. We'll see how it comes through. Game 3 coming up for this one. Darshan on the Jax, and the Kennen has come back through for Balls. He's been very good at these top lane magic damage carries. He found another one not named Rumble, and so far he's undefeated in the series while playing it. We'll see if FlyQuest can do it again, or if CLG Gaming bounce back here in this one. Maybe some vengeance from the quarterfinals of the spring split, CLG or FlyQuest. Who's going to win Game 3? We're going to find out now.
Yeah, and so much of this game may end up coming down to style and how the teams decide to play these team compositions, because CLG, again, just goes with that double teleport. You think CLG, oftentimes you think 1-3-1, the split push game and how they collapse. Yet, this year, whenever we see Darshan on Fiora or Jax, he finds himself in team fights again and again and again. We'll have to wonder if he will get fed enough to be able to team fight, since I am mostly certain that FlyQuest will find a way of forcing fights and pulling CLG into them.
Seems likely. Huhi and high trading blows. A little surprised to see a Doran's shield start out of Balls. I don't feel like he's going to get attacked that often by the Jax. I would actually rather see a Cole, probably. Or just something more attack damage based, just because Doran's shield doesn't help you hit champions. But it's a choice he went for. It's going to give him more sustain if he does get into constant fights, so not just always wrong. Doran's shield out of Huhi, expects to take some damage in his laning phase. Nice little hook buys some damage elimination. Doesn't mean everything, though. Up they go.
A little bit of harass on both of them. They both opt to not use health potions. Just sit with their base regen, want those health potions for lane.
Yeah, he should be totally fine.
Darshan did sneak in, though.
And Huhi's out around the wing. They actually go for a rank 1 stun.
Yeah.
There's the E, and Ball's going to be stunned up. A little bit of damage. That's going to be, at worst, at least a bad laning phase. And he's going to have to actually recall off this one. You can't go to lane like this.
He's got a recall. He has to teleport. He has no flash. Pretty disastrous, actually.
I'm hoping for a lucky way to find this.
He would try and flash E if he preps his stun.
But it buys 8 more seconds is the thing. He's still going to get an XP range in time for Darshan, and Balls actually might miss a melee as a result.
It definitely guarantees the teleport. Darshan misses no minions.
And it's going to be a couple lost, actually. This Kennen's going to lose that melee. And then depending on how good the aggro is, they actually hit... okay, he got 1 CS and he missed XP on 1.
Yeah, so definitely going to hit level 2 second. The wave isn't even going to crash into his turret until he's level 3. And he's got to be careful not to take any harass in this lane, because a flashless Kennen under turret, especially with the Sejuani.
I like what Moon did right there. I think he might have actually seen, because of the machete start, that Raptor's going to be up and just walks in and counter jungles the camp. Slick by Moon, knowing it was being buff to buff. But now look at this damage elimination. Not quite in flay range, but after he's level 2. Guesses incorrectly which way he's going to juke. Elimination guesses right, and now a trade back on Afro means some damage from Wild Turtle.
They still got the heal out, which isn't bad. And yeah, Moon with that ad-lib jungle start. Blue has a lot of mana, so he spellcasts down the Raptors. Gets all that sweet golden XP, and now we'll hit level 3 off the red buff, so not bad.
Level 3 for Omar here. Takes the 3 big camps. So they are equal on camps right now, but there's just 1 less available for the Sejuani. A continued trade in the mid lane, and good autos at a high. Minions help him a bit as well. He had the minion wave on his side. Right now, though, small gold lead CLG, mostly courtesy of this top lane right now. There is some gold sitting in the wave, though. The veritable banana stand for balls right now. He's going to get jumped on, a couple hundred health down, and Darshan wins that trade.
He knows he has Omar God coming up. They don't know where Moon is yet.
Ooh, Ward just came down, and he knows, actually. He can
Yep.
completely deduce that.
You
Well,
think they saw Moon.
he has to know, because that trinket ward was fresh.
Yeah.
There's no way they don't know Moon was there.
Well, they definitely see him now. And
Yeah.
I wonder if Omar God considered going for a counter jungle on Krugs, but that too would be too dangerous.
Yep. Calls out to Darshan. There's a ward on that brush. You don't want to recall there. And it's Omar God hoping to find Jarvan on the camp. And as Jax walks in, he knows he's unsafe. So CLG getting a counter jungle back themselves. As Moon took away the Raptors, so too will Omar God take away the Krugs. 70 gold down the drain. Looks for the trade as well. Level 3 on both, but the Raptors are kind of on his, or the Krugs are actually kind of on his side. Omar God taking some damage from them.
Sej actually a really
Here comes
good
balls.
duelist early game, but we mentioned how dangerous those Krugs were to take.
Got the stun, gets the knockup. Omar God might have bitten off more than he can chew, and suddenly he and Bristle both forced to flash away.
Yeah, there goes the jungle advantage for sure. Moon still has flash, can still take the remainder of those Krugs down. Doesn't mean Darshan has a free lane. Nice ward to continue the harass.
And that's how good that matchup can look. Ball's getting probably the better off of that one.
Yeah, minion wave shoving towards as well. Darshan may look to reset this with a teleport. And then maybe freeze balls out because he knows that the teleport's down on Kennen. And if he gets an item on him too, that could be pretty big.
Ooh, another 8 seconds.
That's actually such a critical cancel right there. Because now Darshan doesn't want to recall in fear of letting that wave crash, so he can't freeze him out nearly as easily now.
He's not going to get all in. He's healthy enough. He got the Doran shield. Moon's far away, but you don't expect Darshan to die. I think it's almost impossible, so he'll get the wave pretty safely.
Yeah, but I think if Balls doesn't stop that recall, the wave never hits the turret. And then the flashless Kennen has to be in fear of the game the whole time it gets zoned off the wave. So I think a misplay by Darshan there, not going far enough back and allowing Balls to harass him with the shuriken there.
And we'll see what comes into this one. Is who he going to get the wave clear? And oh my god, I think he's going to maybe absorb some XP. No wing to be had in the mid lane. Close enough, though. Who he had already burned his first teleport, though, to come back to lane with really very small pieces of items. Hai going to get his first recall off now himself and gets the Lost Chapter. That's the recall you want as pretty much any mage. It's the first power spike you can reliably get, plus the control ward. A couple of wards coming down from Moon already as well, helping to watch that mid lane. Should keep the players pretty safe. Oh my god wants some Raptors. Moon doesn't want that to happen, and gets a few of them back, but oh my god got 2 of the small ones and 1 of the big ones.
Yeah, much more subdued early game this time than last game. Junglers often running into each other before ganks, so the counter ganks don't actually end up happening.
I do want to point out real quick, the jungle CS is misleading. Oh my god, actually up about 100 gold in farm right now. Actually more like 150 despite being down 10 CS. His choice in camps has been better. So oh my god actually is winning the jungle battle despite what the numbers might say to you otherwise. And he's looking for another gank, but it was recently rewarded by balls.
The deeper he goes on this, the harder it's going to be for him to escape.
He's flashless. Good control word.
Yeah, they got to make sure not to stick around too long.
And I think oh my god never wanted to hit the ward, so he could never prove that he had left or went into the jungle deeper. And that ward was shut off, and means Moon has to be a little bit afraid, right? And that E right there is because they never knew who went where.
Right.
Says I'm safe, says his Krugs are dead anyway.
Really trying to protect this Kennen early on in the game. Obviously his flash was down early, but has it back now and is level 6. So I feel like he needs a little bit less protection now. But no control ward on that side of the map. Very going.
DJ Jat with the sick beats. Very big fight in the mid lane.
Very clear.
A rocket comes through. Oh my god, waiting in the wings. Shockwave's gonna land. Who taking a bit of damage on to 500 HP. But here comes Sejuani. And a flash out from Hai is gonna be fine.
You did that on purpose, Free. Oh, level 6 on Stixxay.
Nice hook. Level 5 there on Wild Turtle. The Feather Storm coming across. Not quite gonna get rooted up either, though. Running away for dear life. Ignite is on. The heal gonna come in. And the auto's not gonna be enough. He will survive it. He chugged the potion in time. Out goes Wild Turtle. Just barely the cleanse, the heal, everything else. Keeping him alive.
31 health, and that's the double defensive bottom lane actually paying off there for FlyQuest. Heal on the support. Cleanse on the Kog'Maw. Trying to help him farm at the turret as well, so they withstand that, and it's a 3 summoner for a 3 summoner trade, so that ends up working out for FlyQuest since they now have the level 6.
And they do, and they were already winning in farm up until that last little bit right there. You're seeing the -1, but it was actually a lane, generally speaking, won by FlyQuest. So really good to them in the 2-on-2s. This game back to equal in gold overall. Certainly anyone's to be had. So keep watching these lanes go forward. Really nice farm there for Darshan, +14 as the lane resets. I mean, really good stuff. Certainly, yes, he had gotten to level 1 antics against balls. He had got some gank pressure as well, but still, CLG have been investing in this player, in this champion. That's why you pick it. He begs investment, and so far it's paying good dividends.
Yeah, and with the package up, you wonder if they're just going to continue camping that top lane, even though it hasn't really netted them many advantages. It's the 18 CS, but that would almost be expected after the early teleport was burned, as well as the flash was burned out of the cannon.
Slight miss there, but he's going to get the next one. Now, TP advantage right now is for balls because Darshan's TP was later. It doesn't have to mean much. There might not be a fight in the bot lane, but of course, balls has ulti, so you've got to watch out for that. The CLG duo lane should be afraid as a result. Right now, they're playing pretty far up, and a lantern to keep him safe is going to be fine. There aren't any great deep wards, so there's no TP flank locations for balls. There's something to watch out for with a TP disadvantage. Kennen is one of the best bot lane teleporters in League of Legends. Oh my god, just still trying to counter jungle. Got rid of the Raptors.
Well, if they still have package, it would be their window to gank, but
Ball senses this.
he's playing so defensively. I mean, look at that good control ward. Walks away from the turret. It is going to put the turret in danger, though.
Yeah,
because it's very hard for him to walk up now.
With Omar staying, this is probably them committing for the turret kill and the satisfying thunk, thunk, thunk of the Jack's ultimate. His turret's going to just barely fall. They've got to watch out, though. This is going to be a lot of damage from the turret. Have to wait for the next wave, and that just might give him enough space. Balls.
Yeah, well, lets him go back in turret, but
gets stunned and stunned again. An auto attack in the burst damage might be too much. He gets the big giant ulti across when Darshan is aggro. He's got to run away. He's going to flash for good measure. Turret will still fall, and he does get it. I believe he might have been in range for local gold, I'm not sure, but here comes High to the top side. He wants to fight this one. FlyQuest actually got first turret in the bot lane, as Jai was pointing out onto that one, so FlyQuest doing the better side of it. That's why CLG tried so hard.
That was huge.
Moon was there first.
The fact that Balls was able to hold that without giving up first blood, big swing.
Hook, lantern, the sinker maybe as well. Shot to buy some time, and back over the base gate goes High. Nicely played on the escape. A great attempt, of course, as well, but meanwhile, bot lane's still a 3v0, as FlyQuest getting more.
There's no reason for him to stop. I mean, FlyQuest totally outplayed this situation where there's relentless pressure by CLG on the top side of the map. But then, because they were able to burn High's heal and flash, it is a 2-for-2, but with all the pressure that they were taking on that side of the jungle to have this equal trade and the first turret, I think is still slight advantage for FlyQuest, even though mid-turret makes it close.
I'm checking to make sure that Omar God actually got local gold on top lane turret. He did. Now watching that fight again, though. Good CC layering, but then balls, that flash is so good.
Yeah, don't quite kill him before his flash. That allows him to get in range for a bunch of ult damage. Forces the flash out of Darshan as well.
Yeah.
And the reason he did that wasn't because he thought he could win the fight, but it's because he was trying to delay long enough for the first turret gold to go over. A very, very swingy play right there, because not only was first blood on the line, first turret was on the line, and that's what, 700 or 800 gold worth of bonuses?
700 gold swing, yeah. And here comes the TP on the top side. Darshan is here with Elimination, but here comes Balls as well. The knockup's going to land on the one, and he's going to mean he gets into the stun for a bit of perfect cleanse out of Wild Turtle. And here comes the dive. The other three members of CLG, half HP on this Kog'Maw. The chase not to be had, though. Darshan's going to turn back as well, losing another 100 HP or so.
Yeah, going really deep right there. Flashing by Huhi for what looked like maybe the heal of Elimination.
Yeah.
It definitely feels a little odd this game from CLG, like they're almost forcing too much around their game plan of, hey, let's get Jax ahead. Hasn't backfired yet, but they have yet to get first blood, and when they commit so much on an unsuccessful play, I wonder where the counter is.
But that means Katago's going to land for certain. We have no way out of this one except maybe a couple of kills. It's going to be a quick whip, and a first blood comes through that Wild Turtle. Flashing away, stays out from Darshan, but now there's a fight 4v4 because there is no Kog'Maw. And move forward to run away. Elimination the same. Quick flag and drag out. First blood, no losses. FlyQuest getting farther ahead, 1,000 up.
Yeah, FlyQuest squeaking out these advantages is CLG over-pressing in a lot of scenarios. Like, they have the vision control, they have the players where they want them, but they're just not able to pull off any plays. Some really good defensive play by Balls as Ken in this game. Look at that CS. He's down 13 only after all the proximity Omar God has spent up in that top side, and all the control wards CLG has been able to get in their jungle.
We'll see if more of it pays off later on. FlyQuest, of course, up to the first blood. Rift Herald itself with a couple hundred gold. Let's see what else can come through for this squad. We're going to knock that one down. And then let's see the next objective, if they can get this one to go anywhere. 100 gold to Oh My God. There's that. And I wonder if they can just go for heavy pressure top lane, summon it right away, and 3v1 the Kennen.
At the very least, they're going for red buff, but don't have the control wards necessary to get rid of the defensive vision completely.
I would.
On FlyQuest. You would think he's just
I would Rift Herald
fall.
this every time, by the way, top lane. I think this is a free turret if you use it.
They should be Rift Heralding right now.
Oh, Elimination at
man.
5 HP. Battle dances the red buff away from Darshan. Herald does get summoned. Very smart. CLG will answer top lane tier 2. But of course, that is in turn responded by that Cloud Drake going down in favor of FlyQuest. Arguably advantage to the turret, but that push can still continue. Balls is alone. He's getting Rakan to join him now. Elimination pressure with a red buff.
Yeah. Rakan coming in. What backup the sticks they have?
Nice Feather Storm gets away, and here comes the feud. Gonna pull him right back in. Here comes Slicing Maelstrom as well, and a Shotgun gonna catch up after him. This could be 2 kills on different sides of that same lane, and yes, the solo kill at a high. CLG overstaying on that one, 3v2.
Yeah, so often when we watch FlyQuest games, they're the ones making all of the proactive plays. But this game, they're doing a good job of reacting to what CLG is doing, and that's what's netting them a lead. So 1,000 gold, 3 kills now, but I feel like all of their kills are on their side of the map. And CLG is trying to over-aggress on them, but still yet to pick up even a single kill.
All 3 kills have been within about 2,000 units of that red buff up there. They've all been in that same little quadrant of the map. And CLG, I mean, exactly what you're saying, Jack, going aggressive and FlyQuest being there first, whether it's CLG missing the rotation notification, losing lane pressure, whatever it is, they have been losing a little bit here. The game's still only 900 apart. It's within touching distance, obviously, but CLG having to work back from this one.
Yeah, still a very close game. Because, I mean, you do gain advantages from having that type of control over one side of the map, where they do not have the advantages on the Kog'Maw. The Rage Blade's completed. Oftentimes, it's a pain to get there. The fact that he's with Rage Blade completed while having the CS advantage and a kill up spells a very strong Kog'Maw.
He's going to do so much work this game, and even though Jax's do build eventually a bit tanky, they do so with health items, the Trinity Force, the Tanic Hider, things like that, and so he's going to have really good damage with the percent HP. Here comes Yilzi, going to find Moon into that one. Here comes the knockup to look for Afro. They're going to fight him down. Wildflower gets the first one. Look for the Nexus. Yes, Moon's going to fall, so 1 for 1. But here comes the chase, and Omargod forced to flash away. But I'm going to flash for the Shockwave. Nice juke away from Omargod. The distance still going to make it happen, though. The flash, the chase down. The stun's going to land. Falls. 2 more attacks will do it. Gets the kill picked up. And a red buff transferred over to the top laner. 2 for 1 this fight so far. FlyQuest 5-1 of the game. Top lane outer going to fall as well. Even farther ahead now, 2,000.
Yeah, but CLG is trying to work their 1-3-1 right now. They have the 3 guys that just fought, but they have their solo laners pushing everywhere else. So Wild Turtle trying to get something happening right here as he goes Stixay.
Stixay can die to one more auto attack. He's got to be careful. The minions! The minions! He's auto attacking. He's life stealing. He's going to stay alive. Warlords give him the HP, but now Afro's got Mobies. Turned off by the ulti, though. If Turtle did not ult him, he would have died, but Moby's going to turn back on. Minions hit him again. He's got 3 more seconds, and now Cloudrick's giving Turtle move speed. Minions again. I think he's out.
No, he's not.
No, I think he just wins. He was gonna win! He jukes the hook! He's just gonna win! The minions on his side, and Wild Turtle takes down Afro move. He's gonna get this one, though. It's an assisted kill. Afro the long gun gets assist gold, but that was nice from Turtle all the same.
Wow.
I mean, he probably shouldn't have overchased Stixay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was still cool.
I can't believe he won that fight. Afro just had to flash play, and he hasn't. But now they're going on Omargod on the other side of the map.
And that's going to be a lot of damage to get all they need. A quick swag assist out from Moon as well. Technically a 4v1. Kill goes over to High in the mid lane, 2-0-2 on this.
Yeah, but the 3-kill Kog'Maw is huge. Wild Turtle playing at another level than we've seen from him this year, for sure. So we're going to just watch the dive as it originated. Eats the Sedge ultimate, but they take a lot of damage from Stixay right there. Moon goes down, but they continue the dive. I like the sidestep from Omargod, but it also puts him too close to the rest of them.
Yeah.
So he dies anyway. Does force the flash out of Kennen. And then the rest of it, just a little goofy. He's already had a close kill on Rakan, has enough mana for W, and the minion wave is there. He gets the Flay to proc his Courage Shield, so he did walk up and Flay, but doesn't auto, goes for the death sentence. That's a half-second animation.
Auto probably kills him, actually.
Where Wild Turtle just kills him. if all he does is do a straight trade, there's a decent chance he wins.
Yeah, E-Auto might have won. Also, this is the 7.16 or 15 Thresh bug fix at work. No longer has that extra stun attached to the Flay.
Yep.
So 3 patches ago, he would have won that without any reaction. But now it flays for the right amount of time, and good juking by Wild Turtle.
Showing the strength as well of Rage Blade Kog'Maw when he's able to get 4, 5, 6 auto attacks on you. Really ramps up in power.
Definitely strong item on him. We reset into this game, and it is a tied game in gold. FlyQuest winning in kills, but CLG's rampant aggression has gotten them a +2 turret lead. Mid tier 2 and bot lane outer fell to Huhi and Darshan respectively in the last couple of minutes, so that has answered this out. FlyQuest, though, of course, with that Cloud Drake advantage. And Aphromoo wants to play. Slowed down, though, and yeah, he's at half HP.
Yeah. It's not been his game so far.
No.
4 out of 7 of COD's deaths. Hasn't been able to find those initiations. Wants to be on the front line as Thresh as well, because this is a game where we talked about there's a much lower tank presence in this game than we have had in previous games this series. So against the Kog'Maw, Orianna Kennen, incredibly hard for Afro to go in to make any type of play. Puts a lot of the emphasis on Omar God landing a good ultimate. Really tough situation for a Sez to be in. That's not an easy ult to land as the lead initiation.
Ooh, Darshan on a 1v2. Red Buff not going to kill Scuttle off, and now the ulti coming across. Afro gets that one picked up, and now the Charm on. Darshan going to help, but so is Balls, and he's going to burn down to the Red Buff. Darshan gets one. The re-engage, though, as Omar God is dead. The hook going to pull in Moon, and force to flash away. 1-for-1, top laner and jungler dead on respective sides. And as Drake respawns, Wild Turtle's in the pit, getting poked down a fair bit by Huhi, though.
Gotta watch out for the poke. Darshan does have teleport, might come back into the fight. High still has ult.
Yeah, exactly. Nice poke from Huhi, and of course he has the package as well, so he can get away from anything. And the Infernal Drake will reset with FlyQuest a bit low on health.
Really interesting fight there, just barely being able to tick down the Kennen, so crucial. And not giving that Infernal Drake over. This is a Drake both teams really want. There's a lot of attack damage and ability power being built up by both of these teams. 3 on each that benefit greatly from Infernal. Lemon not super healthy.
Package buys some space that was going to time out anyway, and they're going to fight for the ward, and actually Wild Turtle going to post the victory. Control ward still despawns, gets killed. That brush waiting in the wings. FlyQuest look to get control over this Drake.
Wild Turtle on that 2-item power spike. Hurricane Rage Blade.
Yeah, he's big.
So much strength on that Cog right now. COD's actually trying to set up a split push right now, though, so putting FlyQuest on a timer. If they go for Drake, they force CLG into Drake and most likely pull the collapse down from Darshan, but it does mean they have to fight CLG and the Infernal Drake at the same time.
Okay, let's see the attempt. Who doesn't help up in this one? Who's going to get in for the smite right now? A lot of damage coming to Kog'Maw. The smite's going to go. Nice fight. Oh my God, the fight continues though, and the nice front line now for Moon. 6 are going to buy some time. He's still in the mix though. Has to flash away, and a kill comes through to Kog'Maw. That's the huge damage dealer dead. The chase on and Balls just barely survives, but now High is out of mana. Blast Cone sends him nowhere. The hook's going to land. 2 for 0. Plus the Drake favor of CLG.
FlyQuest get crushed by that Drake call. The collapse comes through perfectly from CLG, and Wild Turtle finds himself in between Rakan and Jax and has no escape. That could spell disaster for them, as CLG can now pull on a 21-minute Nasher.
And Omar God had 2 smites stacked up, the second one available, ready to be used, as Moon has to come back from the base right now. Who he gets rid of the Blast Cone, and no one is even around. Even if they know about it, it doesn't matter. No one's in range. Omar smites for help. So now a smite would be more likely, but no one again is in range. The damage comes through, and CLG, 5 alive, get a 21.5-minute Baron.
Wow, what a swing. That's a situation where FlyQuest thought they had it with Wild Turtle. They actually wanted to force this fight because they can Rage Blade stack up Wild Turtle on the Drake. But watch this. Elimination doesn't get the initiation that can immediately be followed up on. Stick stays still full health. And then Rakan has the ultimate, can Blade Caller through as Darshan comes in for the stun. Wild Turtle had nowhere to go once that initiation didn't
That play.
And a gorgeous play. Talk about Aphromoo having a rough game.
Oh, man.
But does not tilt. Gets the flay in the clutch. That extra kill emboldens them to go for that Baron. And now a game where FlyQuest was looking like they could maybe run away with it with the Kog'Maw is now in a situation where COD has a 2,500 gold lead and a Baron buff.
They're looking good. Oh, they reset the blue buff. A little unlucky there, but they're still going to get it without too much issue. Stixxay now on 40% CDR. He's in a pretty good spot right now. Infinity Edge going to be next for him. As Wild Turtle going towards Essence Reaver himself. He'll have that buff up available more often when he does finish all those completions. And we'll see if he can catch back up in this. 2,500 right now. The gold lead for Counter Logic Gaming. Darshan on the split push. No deaths. Doing reasonably well for himself. CLG are winning because of turret pressure this game. They're going to continue that with the Baron buff, of course.
Yeah.
Lugi top lane, 3 mid, Jax bot lane.
Being able to Baron buff push with a Jax. Super effective. Makes it very hard for the AC Cannon to clean out those waves. Gives time for CLG to slow push in all 3 parts of the map. Elimination does have flash, remember, and now an Ardent Sensor completed. May help out that Kog'Maw even more. Looks like he's going Essence Reaver, 3rd item.
Yep. CDR, great on Kog'Maw, love it. Shout out Azael, who shouted out the Essence Reaver yesterday. I was listening, buddy. I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you too, don't worry. And now CLG gonna keep the push going. Bot lane tier 2 has fallen. All the turrets outside the base have dropped by this point now. 4,000 gold lead. Some of that's still in their pockets. They've got to respect the fact that they're not in items up as much as the score would suggest from the top of the screen. This might slow their expectations a bit.
Yeah, and against that AC Cannon, have yet to really be caught in a big slicing maelstrom. Still no lock-in completed, so the danger's there. Balls has teleport as well, but just no wards to flank with. This is where FlyQuest really want to be able to force a fight.
Uh-oh. He with Darshan there, he's just gone! The Fog of War, Glacial, I forget the name, not Prison, is going to land. Either way, maybe it is Prison. Regardless, it's going to be a turret going down. The inhibitor turret going to fall. CLG in control of the bot lane, and with no balls in this fight at all, it's 5v4. It's going to be pretty easy to keep going. Lugi's still splitting the top lane. Walter going to wave flip it now. The bottom inhibitor being attacked. 5v4 on the map, but the rest of CLG pretty far. High the 1 defending, and no one's going to stop Darshan. That inhibitor going to be given away.
I mean, with no Kennen, a lot of their initiation is down. The Jarvan doesn't want to jump on the Xayah either, which is why I think this first pick Xayah has so much value. So much of what FlyQuest has been doing is just piling into CLG, and that backfires against this team composition that CLG has put together. So add that to the fact that even though the over-aggression wasn't great from CLG early, it was still giving Darshan that CS lead. And then when they pull off that dragon fight, which is the critical moment in this game, that CS lead doesn't go away for Darshan. Now he's gotten really huge.
He's up 82 right now. It's definitely a big Jax at this point. Individual gold-wise, thank you, Spectator. 3,000 up for the CLG top laner. I mean, you saw what he could do during just a Glacial Prison from Omar God. That is a kill every single time. You can see down the line leads for everyone not named Wild Turtle. That Kog'Maw's still very big. The question, though, is can his front line survive? The Jarvan doesn't have much. The Kennen very squishy, not going Zonias himself. Hard to get in for them.
And it feels like CLG, if they play their cards right, won't opt into a 5v5 unless Darshan can flank the Kog. That's the big thing, is go flash for flash with Kog. You can leap strike onto him, flash follow. And then Darshan would hope to be able to win that duel in the backside of the fight.
Yep. Turtle still has the cleanse to get away from the initial stun, and once that E is over, he can put a lot of damage onto Darshan, who doesn't have really any resist, so he can get burned down. But that is still a long time to go. It's going to be difficult to make that work, as the rest of the follow-up is still there. FlyQuest hoping to play for some ward control. Here comes the attempt. They're going to find the first knockout. They're going to go all in for the Thresh, and they're going to not even get him with that one. Blade Color finds the root, and Moon's going to lose his life for this one, you have to imagine. And after Ismail grabs the kill for himself, the Ignite coming through on that. And that was several ults. They can't even kill a support.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty demoralizing for FlyQuest here, as all of their initiation, aside from the Kennen, was burned on that one. He does have flash off, but it's just looking really unlikely for him to go for something.
The inhibitor turret in the mid lane is going to fall now. CLG once again on a 5v4, and they have every single ult, but aside from 2 left available right now. Mid inhibitor falls, Cloud Drake alive, Baron in 1.5, and that's going to be some pretty easy neutrals to grab.
That Infernal Drake fight just so huge in this game. It was about a 2,000 FlyQuest gold lead before that fight, but the kills into Baron and FlyQuest have just never gotten the momentum back in this game. Infinity Edge almost completed by Stixxay. Cloud Drake going to be completed to match the move speed against FlyQuest. FlyQuest will need pretty much a miracle initiation onto the squishy targets to make something happen, but it looks like CLG is just staying very spread out in this game.
They are. They're doing such a good job of split pushing everything down. And they have just enough engage tools. It's actually kind of interesting. Oftentimes, split push teams, it's hard to find your openings to do anything when you find them in that position. But the Thresh and the Sejuani just for whatever the reasons, have been able to find these picks, whether it's Omar God pressing R from Fog of War, or after finding a hook, or him just being engaged upon the team being ready. CLG have collapsed enough that they've actually won some team fights with the split pushing team that is disparate and are collapsing appropriately.
Yeah, and have the stone plate now for Omar God as well. If they do try and go all in on a 5v5, it makes it a lot harder for Wild Turtle to cut through him. And Never Turtle's out this far from the base. CLG is tempted, but it's going to be discipline that needs to reign supreme for CLG here. Wait for the waves to crash. Baron is up in 20 seconds. They can probably get that.
Omar God almost in range of something, but they've learned their lesson from their previous engages. Elimination does have the flash. No heal, though, but Turtle still has flash cleanse himself. And all the farm being donated to the Kog'Maw. He's got to be the one to carry. Hai has got his CDR. He's got his Void Stack. He's got the Leandries. He's about as tank bust as he's going to get. I mean, Death Cap eventually is nice, but it's a long way away.
Yeah. You can see how much FlyQuest is hoping for burst damage when you see the Kennen go Void Staff before Zhonya's. Feels like he needs the Void Staff to even compete with Darshan in the side lane, but it's probably not enough. And having a Kennen slowly smack away at a super minion, a little depressing to watch sometimes. Yeah. Takes a very long time.
Not the easiest. His Q does okay against it, but everything else is pretty rough. And here comes the attempt now, CLG Gaming. Close enough to a ward, they see this, so they know that they've been spotted, and Stixxay taking Baron loses half his health bar. Moon coming around, looks to sweep the wards away, will get hooked, and there's going to be the Lantern to pull him in. They're going to look to talk down this jungler. Dunk comes in, here comes the re-engage as well. And do they have the burst damage? Shaka coming across, and here is now Kog'Maw in the fight. A kill on the ball, but a trade on the Thresh. Here's a backline access, though, with the Jax. The Cleanse Turtle trying to cut. He flashes away, gets stunned up again, but he stays alive a little bit longer. But the kill's still coming through for CLG. They've only lost Aftermoon. They've killed 4. It's Turtle forced to run away with his tail between his legs. Just back to the base. 2 inhibitors down. CLG 4v1.
They're probably going to push to end this game. Do not need to take the Baron buff. Wild Turtle will be at full health, but all carries alive for CLG. Darshan teleports into the base. Super minions are there. They're going for it.
Looks to be the game 3 victory for Counter Logic Gaming. 1-1 the series, about to be 2-1 as Hai pushed into the back line. There's the final kill to pick up. A Cathian surprise, not going to be much of a shock as CLG take down the Nexus for game number 3. 2-1 and 1 game away for their match with Cloud9 for the last spot at Worlds.
Definitely the best game CLG has had this series. Lose game 1, win a close game 2, but this one closes out in 30 minutes and 25 seconds. Neither CLG solo lane or die, which is incredibly critical for this team.
Yep.
Who has recently had that solo lane standout performances. 4-0-4 on Hootie, 3-0-5 on Darshan.
And it seems like the investment did pay off, even if there were some small missteps earlier on. The game started out 0-3. I think they started out 1-2 in turrets, including losing first turret goal themselves. But that style never stopped. They just kept trying to split push, play aggressively around the Jax, and it finally did start working out. One of the big trades where they went -1 in kills, they went +2 in turrets or something like this, where mid lane tier 2 and bot lane outer fell, and that style kept working. FlyQuest tried to team fight, and then when there finally was that 5v5 around Drake, as you mentioned several times in the cast, that one finally went CLG's way, and that just broke the game wide open.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest individual moment in this series was probably that fight right there, because at that point, if FlyQuest positions a little better, doesn't get flanked by the Jax, has a better initiation, maybe they win the fight and take Baron, because that was a 21-minute Baron from an even game.
Absolutely, it was. So now for a closer look at how CLG brought us to our match point, let's send it down to the analysts.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. CLG moving ahead in the series 2-1 now in our best of 5, so looking for one more win to move on tomorrow to face C9. They hit it on the head right there. The solo laners for CLG, that's what this was all about, was getting them ahead, putting them in the position to carry, and that's exactly what happened.
And I think the big thing is just they moved over to the blue side, and FlyQuest is not a team that's going to punish you too hard with counter picks. Maybe Hai back in the day a little bit, but he hasn't really been that kind of like counter pick heavy player in a while. Ball's especially not that way, so when you take this Jax pick blind, you're not too terrified of what they're going to do to you. And I think this is overall good for CLG to be more on the blue side.
I mean, that said, you typically look at Kennen into Jax as a counter matchup, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think it certainly is going to be tough early. If the Kennen gets ahead, it's going to be really tough.
Right.
But I don't think it's something where, the game is just over because this has been picked, right? It's not one of those absolutely terrifying things. And I think that they did have a chance to actually ban out some of the champions that they were maybe more worried about absorbing the Jax or making the Jax more vulnerable. Like things like the Rumble can be tough to deal with. I actually think that Maokai can be tough for Jax simply because you're so vulnerable, for gank assist. But this level 1 was extremely important.
Yeah, I mean, so we're talking about balls can be, Kenny can be a problem if he gets ahead. The whole reason is he just pushes you in, he starts hitting his item power spikes first. But if you're able to do this level 1, you get his flash out, you stop him from getting to the wave, he's going to lose his teleport as well. This takes your last pick counter pick, which is supposed to deny this split push win condition, and you end up, 10 minutes in the game, 20 CS down and losing your turret. That's a disaster in the kind of power budget of your draft, where this was your last pick that's supposed to kind of give you a pressure point on the map that you're going to bring your jungler up to and start diving, and your whole first 10 minutes of your game plan destroyed off that level 1.
Right, again, yeah. I mean, Moon intelligently responding, knowing that the dive attempts might come through, has to play to that side, but now he's playing defensively to that side of the map, as opposed to perhaps ganking the Jax along with the Kennen and looking for a kill themselves. And so you really see how much the tables are turned there, and when the Kennen can't get off the ground, it gives Darshan so much allowance to start really elongating those lanes and putting pressure on the sides.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a really big thing about this game for me was also just the fact that because their lanes were doing well for CLG, this was not something where FlyQuest can just like group and be like, oh, better come fight us now as a Jax with nothing on your belt,
Right.
Like, they actually had the time to keep split pushing, even in some of the cases where the bot laners were getting caught out or whatever. They already had pressure established in the other lanes. You see, the bot lane dying top, but he's killing the mid turret, Darshan's killing the bot turret. They had time to actually, establish the split push and get pressure going.
And I think it's really big that this went well because they were not playing particularly cleanly on the CLG side. They had a lot of weird turret trades. Then at one point they drop a Rift Herald. They're like, cool, we're getting turrets on the top side. Stick with the Rift Herald. And then at some point it just ends up being Stixay who gets chased down and killed. There were a lot of mistakes on the side of CLG here. And if they didn't have this early game go so well for them in terms of just their top lane winning, this could have been a big problem.
It speaks to FlyQuest comfortability in chaos, right? They were very happy to play the reactive, play style in those moments. Say, okay, we'll trade 2 turrets for a single, overextend with the Rift Herald, whatever it was. So FlyQuest making some intelligent moves. However, in the midst of all that chaos, that doesn't mean CLG won't come away with a 1-team fight. And the 1-team fight that they took 21 minutes into the game, 3 for 0 near the Drake. They'll also shift over to the Baron from here.
I mean, this one was so important. The fact they start the fight off with the Infernal Dragon Steel, Omar God able to get in there. And then, I mean, you can see all the CLG members, it feels like they're just getting away with very little health. You can see Omar God skirting away, Stixay getting away. Nothing really went right for FlyQuest in this fight.
And Darshan had a good flank there to make it very awkward. As the front line kind of went in, the backline suddenly has to look behind them, realize there's a Jax coming in that forces them to kite forward into the members of CLG.
Rakan has to then go back to Peel as opposed to fully going through with the engage itself. Wild Turtle gets zeroed out. And to Wild Turtle's credit, he's been playing pretty phenomenal throughout the series, but Kog'Maw, immobile carry, at a certain point, it becomes too difficult to navigate all of these fights.
Yeah, especially when you are behind and there's so many threats coming from multiple sides. It's like, where do you actually stand and fight, right? If there's a Jax behind you, there's a Sejuani in front of you with all these different angles that CLG was able to set up. And I think that it's kind of fun for me to see Darshan on a champion like Jax, because not only can Jax be a split push threat, but you actually can group and be a little bit more tanky and a little bit more disruptive than something like a Fiora, because you don't have to fully commit to the fight. You can use your Q to get in and out of fights. Your ultimate actually gives you quite a bit of tankiness, and he likes to build for a lot of HP in these builds as well. So I think because Darshan is a guy that likes to take solo lane advantages and go to team fights, this is something that kind of fits his playstyle and works for the best of both worlds.
And it was a situation too where the enemy team is not like the hardest team comp to play a Jax into. They have basically a J4 Rakan and Kennen who are going to try and lock you down, which none of those do that easily. It's not like it's a Maokai who's going to W you in front of a Kog'Maw. So I think this was a good game for Darshan overall in terms of the level 1, and then like you said, transitioning to that team fight phase.
Match point for CLG. FlyQuest opting back towards blue side here in game 4. So if we take games 1 and 2 as evidence, what aspects of the FlyQuest strategy do you think they might replicate? What do you think they might abandon in their search for a second win here and ultimately a game 5?
I mean, there's some things you can potentially move around. Like you have a Gragas ban right now that isn't seeing too much effectiveness because Omar God, for the most part, is playing fine on Sejuani. So maybe you try and put some of those bans more on Thresh for Afromu, see if you can start winning bot lane a little bit harder like you were doing in the previous series. I'm not exactly sure what they should do because it does look kind of difficult.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's forget about bans like Darshan. I think that you put balls on some sort of a tank, someone who can actually survive, allow that lane to maybe go a little bit bad if it has to, and try to emphasize your strengths instead of showing up weaknesses, right? Like you said, Wild Turtle has been the guy who has been smashing for them in the promotion tournament so far, or sorry, in the Worlds tournament rather.
Yep.
And you should try to set him up for that success. Give him a lane that can smash and give him a game where he can take over and hopefully get you to that game 5.
A vote of confidence for Wild Turtle in FlyQuest's attempt to extend our series to a game 5. We're going to step away, but CLG are just one win away from knocking FlyQuest out of the regional qualifiers. See who comes out ahead in game 4 when we come back.